Hello Canterbury, welcome to Canterbury Live on Monday the 2nd of March. Can you believe it? We're into a new month. Well, I hope you had a great weekend, enjoyed some balmy weather. It was amazing all the sporting things that were happening over the weekend. We actually escaped to Lake Tennyson for the night on Saturday. It's one of our favourite places to head away to a great dock site, and there's a couple of pics of us coming back with the Land Rover going through the water. It's pretty cool. But unfortunately, I'm going to put my grumpy boots on. Yes, I am, because when we were leaving, we actually found we had to pick up 5 different pieces of rubbish on the way out of Lake Tennyson, which is through the Molesworth station, and it was empty booze packets. Seriously, not cool. We have such a beautiful, beautiful country, and people find it that they can just chuck things out the window. You wouldn't want to know what I said actually about the catching up. Number 5th was a bit boring. Anyway, if you do see a piece of paper or rubbish, pick it up. We're tidy Kiwis. I'm going to take my grumpy boots off now and put my high heels on, but I just had to say it. Also, a big shout out. There was a huge thing happened on Saturday down at Kerrs Reach. It was the head of the river. Yes, a big rowing regatta that happened then between the schools. And I'd like to say congratulations to St Andrews. They took it away from St Bede's. So well done to you, St Bede's. A wonderful second, but well done, Stack, for that. Now, coming up on today's show, yes, we are joined by Anna from Pure Beauty in Wood End. And yes, can you believe it? We're doing a spray tan in the studio. Pretty cool indeed. Mark from Stable Pharmacy joins me. And the beautiful Sarah shows us about shabby chic. Anyway, it is gorgeous stuff, and you can do it all at home. But first up, do you like garlic bread? Yes, toasted sandwiches. Well, Nicola Frey is here now to talk about how we can incorporate this in for our children. Sounds very yummy.
Oh, something to do with your leftover bread, and I hate to throw it away, but so I think, what can we make that into and pop it in the freezer? And kids are always hungry, always searching through the cupboards, so you can direct them to the freezer shelf and say go for that.
What bread, this is a bit of a tangent, but yeah, what bread do you use for your children? Because there's so much of the white, cheap bread out there, but what do you use?
Look, I try and get a bread with a little bit of fibre in it. Children need a reasonable amount of fibre, but not too much, because especially younger children with their tummies being quite small, they don't want to be filled up by a whole lot of fibre because it sort of fills them up and then they don't eat all the nutrients they need. But if your child doesn't like the grainy bread, there's the fibre white, they call it. So that's got soluble fibre. There's 2 different kinds of fibre, but it's a type of fibre that obviously doesn't look grainy, and so that's at least a good first step if children don't want the grainy one. And then children definitely don't tend to like the very sort of like branny sort of bread, but just the
Vogels.
But the ones that are a bit, excuse me, look a bit grainy and still look almost white as well. I think that's probably the next best step as well.
Yeah, it's good, but just getting away from that bleached white flour. Yes. No, I'm hearing you. We just glossed over a bit though.
Yeah.
Who is Mary McDonald?
She's the winner of our first prize pack for our nutrition website and also our Facebook page. So she was one of the people who liked the Facebook page Nourish Nutrition Limited, and so she's won $130 worth of all sorts of skin technology products. So yes.
Great, well, definitely a big shout out to Mary McDonald.
Yep,
congratulations. It's very worthwhile indeed.
Yeah.
Going back to the Facebook page, I mean, it's simple as that. We can just go on, and it's like a continuous blog, isn't it, Nicola?
It is. So we're launching from today. We're going to be posting all sorts of updates and competitions on there, and so this week we're running another competition for that $130 pack of wonderful skin technology products. That's sunscreen and hand sanitizer, foot and hand warmers, all sorts of things.
I love that.
Yes. So like the page, share it with your friends if you really like it, and that prize is up for this week as well. We'll let you know next week who the winner is.
It's very exciting. So tomorrow, what are we cooking?
So we are doing garlic bread and toasted sandwiches, which sound very simple, of course, but it's just showing people simple ideas about if you've got leftover French stick or some buns, that sort of thing, they make perfect garlic bread. And if you make up just some margarine, some garlic out of a jar I use, quick and easy, and just some chopped up parsley, you can just, once you're finished with that, you can pop it in the freezer, and then that stays nice and fresh for each time you might have a leftover roll or 2. So you don't have to be making that up every time, otherwise then it's too much of a job. And the other one is, so toasted sandwiches, if you have bread that's not lovely and fresh for a fresh sandwich, pop a bit of cheese, spaghetti, whatever your favourite filling is for your children or yourself, and then pop that in a plastic bag, pop it in the freezer, label it, of course, of what's in the filling, and then you can take those out. The children, if they have a toasted sandwich maker at school, can take those out to school for lunches, or they can have it in the weekends. It's great just to have them already made, and then in the weekend, if everyone's having toasted sandwiches for lunch, it's like, okay, what flavour was your one, and grab it out, and away you go.
Oh, it's too easy, because by the time the weekend comes around, I don't know about you, but I can't be bothered with the lunches.
No.
You've made the lunches for 5 days. It's sort of a bit boring, isn't it? What a great idea to have them all ready to go.
Yeah, and you're often in the weekends having to go out and get fresh bread or something like that, but if you've got those toasties made, the one little tip about it is don't put the margarine on the outside before you're popping them in the plastic bag, because they're very tricky to get out. You can do that once you take them out if you need to. Yeah.
Next week, very cool, we're doing another wine and food match.
We are, so we've got one of the Crater Room wine and food matches with one of their Pinot Noirs next week, so really looking forward to that. And there's actually the Waipara Wine and Food Festival out in Waipara in a couple of weeks, so that's Sunday the 22nd of March, and you look out for the Crater Room stand there if you're interested in going and having a try of their wines.
How neat. And where is it held, the Wine Fest?
Yeah, so we'll have to update you on that one next week. I know it's out in Waipara, but
I drove past yesterday, didn't even take note. Isn't that bad? But we'll have
Yes,
to. So it's the weekend of the 21st, 22nd.
Yes,
around
so
there.
it's on the Sunday, the 22nd. Yeah.
Okay, rightio, it's the wine food match. Okay, so going back to your website as well, what can we find on your Nourish website?
Right, so on the website,
nourish.org.nz.
Yep. We have a link to all the shows that we have on here and all the cooking shows also. And probably the other big thing is the work that we do with workplaces, caterers and schools. We can do workshops, that sort of thing around nutrition and all sorts of different things for different situations. So have a look at those 2 pages. And yeah, definitely have a look at our Facebook page as well and follow us on there, because there'll be lots happening there as well.
Lots of easy options.
Yeah.
But apart from anything else, it's just as simple just to drop you an email, even if it's a small question, big question.
Absolutely.
And you're happy to help anyone out with their inquiries.
Definitely.
Good on you. Hey, looking forward to the old toasty sandwiches and the garlic bread tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yummo. And the next week for the wine. Doesn't stop there, does it?
No.
Have an awesome week.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
Now stay with us. As promised, we find out about Shabby Chic from Sarah from Handscraft. Shabby Chic. I'm loving it, Sarah. And I love this lovely box. The colour, is it duck blue?
This one's actually called River Rock.
River Rock.
River Rock, yes, but it is quite a ducky sort of blue. So this is a new range of Martha Stewart paints, and they're what they call vintage paints. Vintage paints, Shabby Chic, chalk paints.
Oh, it's really, really lovely.
Yeah.
Martha Stewart, hello.
Yes, she tends to do everything.
Yeah, and she has, hasn't she?
She has.
So do we think she met some chemists while she was in prison, maybe?
Quite possibly, because she's come up with these great paints. With Martha Stewart's ones, they're in slightly smaller containers, which is good for if you're doing smaller projects like picture frames and things in the kitchen. There are other brands around that are doing big sort of 4 litre, 10 litre tins, but that's a bit excessive for what most of us are wanting to do.
So let's talk about this one here. There's obviously one, empty box or something we haven't been using. It's probably been looking a little bit shabby.
It was brown and cream with a stenciled duck on top from sort of 70s, 80s sort of thing. The joy of these paints is you don't need to prep them. So you're just painting straight on. You don't need to sand them, varnish, strip. You can just paint on over any surface, basically.
Oh, fantastic.
So, yeah, and you don't need to be neat. You just want a really nice, big, beautiful brush, and you're basically just slapping it on irregularly.
So you do want it to have that sort of slapped on look?
Yep, that's part of it. That's part of it. And if you don't get all the bits, it usually doesn't matter, because that adds to the charm of it.
How fun.
It is.
So, especially if you're going for like a French or sort of Bohemian sort of look, how neat that you can actually reuse, recycle, which we love recycling.
I sold some filing cabinet the other week, and the girl sent me back a photo that she'd shabby chic'd it all up, done this sort of thing with the old filing cabinet.
How neat.
So it looked really cool.
It's very cool. Well, let's show us some stenciling down there. Say that 3 times.
So, stenciling. All right,
Cheeky.
So it's a nice finish to do the stenciling. Martha Stewart's brought out a great range. of stencils.
Yep.
And the trick to stenciling is a lot of people get the paint bleeding underneath, and that's usually caused by movement or the paint's too liquid.
Right.
So the first thing you do is you either want to tape it down, or we've got spray adhesive.
Love spray adhesive.
Just give it a quick spray, and then that will just affix it to item.
Okay.
Right. And then with the stencil brush, or you can use a sponge. Don't wet it. You're just working with everything dry. Bit of paint on the brush, dab off the excess onto a paper towel.
So less is more.
Less is more, so you're working with it quite dry, and then you just
Oh, look at that.
stenciling.
So that's
Three.
just a circular motion.
Just a circular motion, yep. And you can build up the layers pretty much, but that's just the basics to it.
Oh, how neat. Can we show that off to
If you can
yeah.
see.
So it's very quick.
It can
Quite
be.
painless.
If you're doing big things, it can take a while, and that's
Right.
where a sponge comes in. If
Okay.
I'm working on fabric, doing cushions or anything like that, I'll use a sponge because it is much faster.
So you can use these products on fabric as well?
No, this one here is designed just for the wood
Right.
type of things, but her basic paints, which is what we'd quite often use for the stenciling side of things, you can use on any surface, and this one is indoor and outdoor.
Okay, so let's
she's-
oversimplify it now.
Yep.
We have a underutilised box.
Yep.
We just come in to Handscraft. We pick up some of the
This
base.
wonderful paint.
Don't have to worry about sanding. Ugh.
No,
Just go straight
straight
into
onto it. And then if you want the edges, like this one's got slightly raw edges, you can just use a nice fine sandpaper, about 400, 600 grit, and you can just sand off
it to give it that warm.
to give that worn look. Yep.
How wonderful!
Easy peasy.
It is really easy peasy,
Yeah.
and why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Especially if you're redesigning. We sort of want to rejig a room.
Yeah, and the whole
How
French
easy.
thing's really in at the moment.
It looks fresh.
There are waxes to go over the top as well
Okay.
to finish it off, because you do need to protect it once it's done. Otherwise, your paint will just sort of eventually
How
wear
wonderful.
off.
And I'm just going to pull these here because we talked about fabrics, and there are some lovely stencils in that you can actually get to put onto your cushions, because just quietly, they are very expensive sometimes buying cushions, aren't they, all
Yeah.
done? So you could do it yourself and personalise your home.
Absolutely.
Good on you. Hey, thanks so much, Sarah. I love it. Shabby chic.
Send your best friend on holiday to Snuggle In Boarding Canterbury. We pride ourselves on having a safe, clean and fun environment for your feline companion. With luxury heated rooms, private courtyard, comprehensive menu and room service provided by trained staff and vet nurses, Snuggle In is simply the best for your pet.
Undergone home renovations? Looking for that special something to complete a room? Look no further than the Hitching Post. Their extensive range ensures you can find that special something. From plasma cut metalwork to candles, artwork, weather vanes, or even a customised gate. So come on down to the Hitching Post, 722 Marshland Road. For news, views and local stories, the Christchurch Star.
Well, veins is one topic that can be very, very well covered, literally, at Stable Pharmacy, isn't it?
It is indeed. People have been coming to see us for quite some time for compression socks and hosiery, but I thought perhaps in order to explain just who would be interested in that, maybe we'll just go back to fifth form biology or sixth form biology, and if we can look at the first slide.
Going back a bit far
A
there,
little
Mark.
bit of slide.
Yeah.
So here you've got the blood going, the red blood going out of the heart and into the tissue, and also the blue blood then going back up into the lungs. And so the arteries are elastic and the veins are not, because the arteries need to cope with the pumping of the heart, so they need to be able to expand and contract. But the veins aren't, they're like a plastic bag. And so here you've got the leg, so you've got these great big long veins, these big veins that go all the way down the leg. And you've also got to contend with gravity. So you've got the blood going down, but then in order to come back up, you need the calf muscle pump to pump that leg back, the blood back up the leg. And so on the next slide, you'll see the pressure difference that's required. There it is. So you're going to need more squeeze at the ankle and less squeeze at the knee, and there's more fluid happening at the ankle and less at the knee. So anybody that's standing, sitting, anyone who's travelling, even to Auckland, after 20 minutes you're in complete venous failure. So flight attendants, pilots, teachers, taxi drivers, cameramen, news presenters, show presenters, producers, pharmacists, anyone really that has their legs staying in one place and they're not pumping the blood continuously or regularly with that calf muscle. But then also you have conditions like surgery. So any trauma, if you've had any a knee replacement, or you've been in a car accident, had a broken bone, had an infection in the leg, pregnancy, you know, all the hormones are changing the body's circulatory system. They're softening all the tissues to allow that baby to come out. But most mums wait until the 3rd trimester to come and see us when the vein's popped. You actually want to do it before you see the vein. So I wear them every day because they stop my feet from aching. And of course, if my feet are aching, it means that there's fluid down there, and that's pushing against the tissue and making it uncomfortable. So ladies, if you've got, and guys, if you've got a friend out there and you're finding that they've just found out they're pregnant, congratulations, you need to go and talk to Market Staywell, or talk to your midwife.
Or buy.
What
a great gift.
Yeah, absolutely, fantastic gift. Now, I also want to cover the white socks and stockings that are out there. So if you've been and you've had surgery and the nurses have given you these white socks which you wore while you're in your bed to take home and wear, they are to wear in bed for your surgery. They are not for walking around. That's why they're white, because they're ugly. Right? If you want something to wear around, you need the fashion colours, and you should not loan them to your niece or your daughter to take on their overseas flight to England. You should put them in the furnace, because that's the only place they should be.
I love it when you come on it.
Come and talk to us about what you need. And you need to be measured properly as well, because your leg size is different to mine, is different to someone else's. And if, as you understand, with the fluid going down the leg, you need to come and see us as early as possible. We have had people come and see us later in the day, but you know, early in the day is best. There's travel socks and there's the surgical socks. So the travel socks are these, and you'll see down the bottom here there's a 15 to 20. Now the 15 to 20, you know when you get your blood pressure checked, and that's your millimetres of mercury. So 15 millimetres of squeeze at the ankle, 20 millimetres of squeeze at the knee. So that's pushing the fluid up the ankle to the knee. Now if you've got travel socks that are 12 millimetre, and there are some brands out there that have that, they're just not worth it. They're about $30, complete waste of time. These about $60, $65. So here's a leg that I brought in earlier.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah, so this is actually the next size up. So this is the ones that I wear. So these are the 20 to 30. And so those there have 20 millimetres of squeeze at the ankle and 30 at the knee. And ladies, you get a choice. You actually get beige, and you get black. Guys, you get any colour you like, so long as it's black. But this product here will give you. This is a silver line. It's got maximum compression for most people. We do a 30 millimetre as well for people with some nasty legs. And speaking of nasty legs, we're going to have to look at some nasty legs now.
Yeah, some shots there, I think. Doug's got
so
those.
obviously there's a whole range. The ones at the bottom, those, you know, we probably still use a knee high. We wouldn't use a thigh high, because all the damage is happening at the bottom. And then probably the one on the middle left and far right, we'd also use a knee high. We'd probably use a knee high on the middle right as well. But that one at the far left top, where the vein's going all the way up and over the knee, we'd use that. We'd use a thigh high there. But 90% of people need a knee high. We get a lot of people coming, oh, I need a thigh high. And then we've got got this one, and that really is a problem.
Wow.
Probably at that stage I'd be sending you to go and see my friend Janina Hearn at the Christchurch Vein Clinic, because those are really uncomfortable veins and they're going all the way up. But you know, you don't want to leave it to get to that stage. So here we've got someone with edema. So they've had an infection or something going on, and the leg's swollen, so all those veins are swelling. And
that is one
stretching.
person though, Mark. Let's establish that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And so they're going to need compression hosiery to bring that swelling down, but also then to be able to treat that long term. And this is a varicose ulcer. So if this doesn't scare the bejeebers out of you now, because this is somebody that just had circulation issues and they didn't look after their leg, and because that the skin is stretching, the cells are being destroyed and breaking down, and they need treatment.
Wow.
Don't let it go that far.
Oh my goodness. Look, just go along and see Mark and the team. Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Sheens Road, Hornby, Christchurch. Phone 0508 Staywell. A gift voucher could be a great thing to take along and give to someone to come and get a pair fitted.
Sure.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Great.
Give us a ring.
Yeah. Stay with us after the break. We're still on the legs, but they're being spray tanned. See you soon.
Regardez-moi, c'est comme de voguer elle.
Town and Country made to measure interiors. Made with care, made for you.
Opus is recreating the heart of Canterbury. From large-scale projects to commercial buildings. Your design, your vision. Opus.
Yes, well, as promised, we're actually going to show you live in the studio a spray tan, aren't we, Anna Harding?
sure are.
Pure beauty. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm wonderful, but how's Woodend?
Good. Really good. Busy.
Busy?
Busier than it used to be.
Damn. No, that's a good
No,
thing,
that is a
isn't
good
it?
thing,
But
it
you're
is.
always looking for new clients, aren't you?
Absolutely.
To
Always
foster
welcoming-
relationships.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
which is cool. And
Yeah.
she's so much fun going out there. You know, she's talk, as well as doing other stuff. You know, wax, woo! And it's gone.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Now, spray tan, a lot of people get them done.
Yes.
But a lot of people are like, oh, still scared about the whole, I'm going to look like a Oompa Loompa.
Yes, that's always the go-to word for a spray tan, but not anymore. No, I disagree. It does come back to what base the spray tan product is. Sometimes they are orange based. They will go orange, and I do
Right.
see where that comes from. But nowadays they have violet base and green base. The one that I use is green base. So that sounds a bit scary.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, you don't want to be green, but it's actually counteracts the orange.
Okay.
Green, I mean, you know, with the colours green and orange.
Rightio.
Yeah.
Well, we've got the beautiful Mercy, who's actually in my ear at the moment, came and stepped in, and actually, she is gorgeous anyway. She's like this porcelain beauty. But
She
today, she has gone for the bronze on
Yes.
her legs. And this was just in our studio. So imagine transport yourself out to Woodend, actually into the salon out there. That's incredible, isn't it? That's only like how many strokes? About 4 strokes.
And that's one coat as well. And look, you see the side that hasn't been sprayed, and you can just see the difference. And it's in the summertime. It's so
Jeez,
nice
just,
to have brown
just
legs.
quietly, Mercy, you've got some amazing legs there.
Beautiful
Jeepers.
legs.
I know. And the tent you're showing there, obviously, you know, it's a family show. Mercy is wearing her dress,
Yes.
just, lift it up a bit there. So
Absolutely.
when you do go along, depending on how comfortable you feel, Anna, can you go full nude?
You absolutely can. Most people do, to be honest. Some people just wear underwear. It's good sometimes when they have underwear on because you can see the difference between the white and the tan. See, if I show, that's when I pulled the skirt up a little
insane.
bit. It's crazy. And that's one coat.
It looks like she's got leggings, like little lycra tights on. That's gorgeous. And don't worry, Mercy will be finished off. We're not just leaving her like that. It'll be quite bizarre for her partner tonight getting home. You want it, a bit of both. But that was quick. That's real time.
Yeah.
So there's a short amount of time
Yeah,
that
they
it
are.
took to transform.
Yeah. That's one thing I love about spray tans is they are really quick. They're a quick appointment, so I can fit in heaps of them.
They're a quick appointment, but there is some prep you should do though.
Yes.
And to make sure that you actually do have a good longevity of that tan. So what's that?
No deodorant, no perfumes, no lotions, nothing on your skin. Exfoliate, so getting a good exfoliant all over the body that gets rid of all the dead skin cells and the dry skin, and do your shaving. Because you can't, once you've had your tan on, the first 1 to 3 days you don't want to be shaving because that will shave a lot of the tan off.
Is it better to get wax or shave, or does it not just matter?
Probably doesn't matter. As far as the skin sensitivity and the solution going on the skin, it would be better to just shave because sometimes waxing can bring up some redness. So probably shaving, yeah, but
right, well, very
works.
cool.
Yeah.
Mercy will be heading out to Wood End, but you could as well.
Yes.
Really simple, because the gorgeous Anna will be giving you a full body spray tan. And hey, we've all got events coming up at the moment.
Yes.
How cool would you get a free one?
Absolutely.
Okay, and if you're not cheap, you can actually go out there and get one yourself. But
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. So all we need to do is call through to Marianne on 3777 033 or go to her Facebook page, leave your details, and you could get a beautiful, gorgeous tan just like Mercy did. Lovely seeing you, sweetheart.
Same to you.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
Cool.
Good on you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, tomorrow we are joined by the Te Matahini Kapahaka Festival. Awesome. See you then.